Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome. My name is Heather, and on this channel we like to walk a very fine line between a shopping addicted makeup monster and a responsible adult with a makeup hobby. Now, I really enjoy eyeshadow singles, duochromes, multichromes, blush, highlight, lip gloss, basically everything except pressed glitter, and today we're going to be getting back into my purchase or pass. So this is a video we're talking about all of the new makeup releases that are coming out, whether I want them or not, and I want your opinions too, so leave one in a comment down below. This video was originally created by Samantha March and quickly popularized, so a lot of people are doing this type of video now. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So first up, I'll talk about the ABH Cosmos palette, which clearly I wanted because I went ahead and picked it up. And I've done two looks with it so far. I did one that predominantly used this shade, and then one that predominantly uses this shade, which is the look that I have on right now. And so far, so good. I really like it. I'm actually kind of impressed by the ABH kind of rebrand with these larger pans and more expensive palettes, but further testing to come, and I will definitely let you know my thoughts. So climbing into this video, the first thing to talk about is the Peachy Queen Shop's Lovers Tarot inspired eyeshadow palette, and this palette was really striking. It really caught my eye. I love the outside packaging of this like kind of celestial theme. I mean, this is kind of the vibe that I have in my room as well. And I thought the shadows in the palette actually were kind of interesting because they have these sort of like splotchy marbled effect metallics in there. The actual palette is only about $20. I haven't purchased it yet, but I'm somewhat interested. So if you think that that's something that you would like to see, definitely leave me a comment down below because maybe that will sway me one way or another. Next up is the Unique Beauty palettes, and they've revamped. Originally their palettes were like these little 6-pan cardboard palettes, and now they're revamping into these 8-pan kind of plasticized palettes, and I kind of like where they're going. I think that it's giving main character palette is the one I'm most interested in, but they're 25 pounds at this point, and their previous ones I think were like 19 pounds. So price has crept up a little bit, which is probably multiple factors there. So I think I'll hold off on these palettes for now. Same with this one from Give Me Glow. This is a 10-pan palette that they're doing in this like plasticized square packaging. Juicy Blueberry is the name of the palette. There's 2 multichromes in there, which is pretty cool, and then a bunch of mattes. I think it's a cool concept, but there's a lot of like peachy orange type shades in there that I don't think necessarily are the first thing that comes to my mind when I think about blueberries. So I'm definitely going to be passing on that one because it's just not my vibe. Cosmic Brushes is doing this Delicious Delights palette. They also have a highlighter. This palette is coming with 4 multichromes in it. The swatches look ridiculous, although I think the intensity is turned up on the swatches, so I don't think that that's necessarily like true to color based on what I'm seeing there, but overall it's a very gorgeous palette. I went to go pick this one up, and I was gonna pick up Muse, which is their kind of pinky green palette, as well as the highlighter palette, and the highlighter palette sold out. I was between patients, so I was like, let me go see this patient, then I'll come back and I'll take care of this, and it sold out in the meantime. So I was like, well, never mind about that. So it's on my list that I might pick it up at some point, but I'm not getting it right at launch. Then Notoriously Morbid is releasing some quads, and the one that I thought was the most interesting is the Love Like Winter. Yeah, Love Like Winter. It's $29.99, and it's like this blue, multi-chrome, navy, like iridescent gray kind of quad. I think it's really pretty. It's about $30 though. It's a bit pricey for me, and I think I already have shades like this in my collection, so I don't necessarily need to purchase this, but I do think the quads are very pretty. RashaB Cosmetics is releasing this little 5-pan palette, and this is their Nile eyeshadow palette. I think it was like $20, and they had free shipping offered, which was pretty cool. So I did go ahead and pick this up. I've ordered it. I just haven't received it just yet. I don't even think I have a shipping notice yet, but I didn't order it too long ago. So hopefully that will be coming in not too much time so that I can make a video. Next up is the Glamlight and Rick and Morty collection. Now, I know absolutely zero about Rick and Morty. I don't even know what that show is. My cousin actually had to explain to me kind of the general basics of it, but I saw the color story in the palette, the highlighters. So before my camera rudely cut me off, we were in the middle of talking about the Glamlight Rick and Morty collection. So the setting spray container, which is like that kind of triangle shaped flask that is called an Erlenmeyer flask, and I was immediately drawn to that. We had stuff like that at our wedding because we're nerds, like, let's be honest. The purple kind of lip color really appealed to me, and so I figured by the time I got the palette, the highlighter, the Erlenmeyer flask setting spray, and one of the lip kits, it was only another $7 to get the other lip kit. So I was like, why not? And so I just got the whole collection. So I just got a shipping notification this afternoon, so hopefully that will be here within the next week or so that I can film with that one too. Let me know what you think. Are you excited for that one? Because I'm definitely super excited. Next up is the Blend Bunny Sugar and Grunge palette, and this one is so pretty. There's like some really soft like teals, purples, greens in there that really appeal to me. You've got like the gray, black, white kind of pattern too, and I love the metallics that they picked out for this particular palette. I think it's interesting. I think this is her first palette where the metallics were not the same shade as the rest of that like column. So I think that's kind of an interesting take that she's done, and I'm really excited to play with this palette. So whenever it launches, which is the 30th, so in just a couple of days, I'm gonna go ahead and try to pick that one up too. Hopefully it doesn't sell out. Pastel Roses UK is releasing 2 new palettes, one of which is kind of like bright colorful rainbow type palette, and then the other one is like this soft neutrals with pops of pink and green, and I think that's the one I'm definitely more attracted to. I have some similar shades in my collection already, so I don't think I necessarily need to run right out and buy this, especially for 32 pounds plus shipping to the United States. But if you don't have something like this, I know their quality is very nice, and I think you'd be very happy with it. Official Spellbound Beauty is releasing a Coven eyeshadow palette, which appears to be just a really interesting kind of amalgamation, blues, greens, purples, and it has 15 shades, 9 are duochromes, 4 mattes, and 2 mattes with a slight shimmer to them, $30 on their Etsy shop. I like the color story. I think it's very interesting, but again, these are shades that I already have, and I wish I didn't because that packaging is so cool. It's got kind of that like black hollow background, which is really cool. So at some point I may end up picking it up if it goes on sale, but I don't think I need it right this second. Copacetic Cosmetics is launching 5 new highlighters, and they come in this cute little like kitty cat paw packaging. The minis are $10, the large pans are $15, and the shades look really pretty. Like, I'm very impressed with the colors. I was watching I think Rocky is in her name, doing swatches of these earlier today, and I thought they looked really pretty on the skin, so definitely something I have my eye on. I usually order their $2 Tuesday bundles the first Tuesday of every month, and that is 5 shades for $10, so I might throw one of those in next time. GlossGods is releasing 2 new palettes. They have the Color of Rain Effect palette and the Lavender Skies Remixed palette. So the Color of Rain is kind of more like the blue purple blurple kind of shade, and it's all, I think all but one shade is duochrome. A lot of these shades I'm pretty sure I already have, so I'm not going to pick this one up, but if I didn't already have them, I absolutely would pick this palette up. Like, this is me in a palette, and I like they included a matte black in there too, because I really feel like that makes those other shades pop. The other particular palette is more the fuchsia one, and that has a bunch of mattes and a handful of duochromes in it. That one just doesn't speak to me as much. I feel like the pink, purple, yellow color story doesn't really get me as much as like the green, blue, purple kind of stuff does. So that one's an easy pass. Next is Roland X Sanrio, and they are doing the Whatever Girls collection, and it looks like they're going to have a couple different things in this packaging. It's kind of hard to tell. Some of these might be gloss or potentially like a lip color. There's some nail polishes. There's some round compacts, and I'm not sure what's in those. Maybe a cushion foundation. It's kind of hard to tell from the pictures. The pictures are really limited. And then it does look like there's little eyeshadow palettes. So I may pick up the Kuromi, like the angry purple girl. I may pick up her collection at some point. Chaoli is releasing 2 new fragrances. There's the Wedding Silk Santal and the Wedding Velvet Santal, and those are 2 different fragrances that are kind of coming out as a pairing. The Silk Santal has notes of sparkling champagne, white freesia, black currant, lush nectarine, pink praline, jasmine, rose Damascena. I'm sure I'm pronouncing that wrong, I'm so sorry, and Orange Blossom. And then the base notes are Sugared Musk, Sandalwood, Oak Moss, Amber Woods, Vanilla Absolute. I feel like that would be my jam, my absolute jam. And then the Velvet Santal is Jasmine Petals, Tea Leaves, White Musk, Cedarwood, Benzoin, and Sandalwood. That one, I'm not sure as much that I'm just hearing those notes, I'm not sure that I would love it, but the silk one, I definitely think I would like. Plus the packaging is super cute. It looks like it's like raining diamonds on it, so definitely going on my wish list. NYX is doing a whole Welcome to the Dream House Barbie movie collab, and it looks like they have some glosses, they have a mirror, they have a face trio, they have 2 eyeshadow palettes, lashes. I mean, there's like a whole collection. The PR kit is $90, which I thought was kind of cool. I saw these in store and the palettes look really small and really flimsy. Like the palettes themselves are about this big, like they're like pocket sized, and they don't look like they have that much product in them. So I definitely think you're paying a lot more for the collab name than you are for the actual makeup inside, so I'll probably pass over all of that. Too Faced is releasing the Cosmic Crush palette, and it looks like they're reusing that same nudes packaging that they've done 2 palettes with so far, which I don't necessarily mind. But this, for Cosmic being like celestial, like moon and stars and planets and whatever, this is a pretty boring palette. It is predominantly warm tone neutrals with a pop of fuchsia, and then you've got some sparkly black-ish shades at the end. So I wish they would have been a little bit more outside the box, because when you look at the swatches especially, it's like neutrals with a pop of fuchsia, and I just feel like that is really, really tired. So I'd like to see something else from them. Sugar Drizzle Polish is releasing Multichrome eyeshadow sticks, where there's an iridescent Multichrome liner on one side and then a sort of black-based Multichrome on the other side. And I think it's a cool concept, but I've tried the liners from, is it LA Girl? Yeah, I got a bunch of their liners, and they aren't it. Like, you need so much pigment in such a wide like area of real estate to really make them noticeable, impactful, and you're just not going to get that on the waterline, which is where I typically use my liners. So for me, it's just not a makeup item that is going to be terribly useful for me, so I'm going to skip those. And then lastly, we're going to talk about the Lunar Beauty x Lauralee Los Angeles collab collection. And so they did their whole full coverage collection in relation to their podcast that they share. The palette is like strangely intriguing to me, because I say strange because it's mostly neutrals, right? And I'm not really like a neutrals girly, but there's something about that olive in the last row right above the duochrome next to kind of purpley shades that makes me think like, oh, this is a really colorful palette. But if you take those 4 shades out, it is truly just a neutral palette. So I think I need to just chill and not pick this one up, because I have between the Glaminatrix Nearly Natural palette and I have Manny's Original Makeup Geek palette, which has the exact same blue-brown shade in it. I think I'm good. The lipsticks don't intrigue me. The brushes are ridiculously expensive for what they are, and there's a dual-sided brush in there, which I really don't like because I never use them. Like, I'm always like, I'll save them and use them when I travel, and then I never do. So I don't know. And then the blush palette looks pretty, but the 2 highlighters I think are definitely too deep for me, and I have a ton of blushes recently, so I think I'm going to be okay to pass on all of that. But like, if I won that in like a giveaway or something, I would be head over heels so excited for it. But to actually spend $130 to purchase that whole collection feels like a little bit too much. So I'm sure it will sell out because they have a huge following, and that's awesome for them to, you know, have put this together. But I think I'll just go ahead and sit back and let everybody else enjoy that one. Alright, and that is everything for this video. I know this is a rocky one coming back into this purchase or pass style, since I have not been doing these in ages. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe before you go, and I'm going to see you in my next video. Bye!